Well, hello and welcome to tonight's demonstration. Today I'm going to be showing you the cutter. I'm going to show two quick and easy recipes using the cutter. The cutter has two modes. It can grate and slice, and each mode can be thin or thick. So thin is 1 millimeter, thick is 4 millimeters. So I'll just get into it. So first of all, you have your Thermomix set up here. Also, there are modes. I'll show you the modes. On the TM6, it has modes. So down the bottom, there's grating and slicing. And once you go into it, you can choose thin or thick. On a TM5, you can still do it manual mode. And it's about whether it's on reverse or forward as to whether it's thin or thick. And speed 4 is the speed for it. But when you get your cutter, you get an instruction booklet that tells you how to do that. So don't expect you to remember that for now. So I'm going to be showing this really quick pickle recipe. And here we go. So with the cutter, you have a few different pieces. So you've got your driving shaft, which sits on top of the blade, just like that. And then you put your bowl in. And then your disc. So with this one, we're going to put it on the grating side, which is the gray side 2 facing up. And I tried in the other video, I tried to show you as well, but you can see pictures on there that shows how to do it. So you just sit that on there. And yeah, so basically we're just going to be grating these carrots and zucchinis, and I just want to show you how quick and easy it is. So first I'm going to start with the zucchini. So have your pusher ready, because if this just sits here for too long, it kind of going like this, it's bouncing around in there, getting tiny little bits off, and that's not great. So you want to have this ready to guide it down gently. We don't push, it's just a little guide to make it go down. So you'll see when I do this how quick it is. So I want this to be a thick grate. You'll see how fast it goes. And that's it. And then we're going to do the carrot. I'm going to do the carrot also on thick. So just put it in. See how fast that is? And that's it. So that's how quick it is to grate. I've done the thick side for this recipe, which I'll just show you. So there we have it, our thickly grated carrot, and then underneath we have our thickly grated zucchini. So, and it's not juiced or mushed in any way. Even I've done thin slices of cucumber and it just glides straight through. Perfect grated pieces. So yeah, I chose this recipe because it's also a cool recipe that not everyone has tried before, to make a quick pickle. But you can imagine how easy it would be to do coleslaw or other salads like that using the grate mode of the Thermomix. Now, when you're finished using the cutter, always just remember to take out that driving shaft. We have actually had some people get excited. They take out this and then carry on with the recipe and do something else, forgetting that that's in there. So really do need to remember to take that out. So yeah, that's a warning for you there. And this pickle recipe is really easy. The next thing we're adding is some apple cider vinegar. I buy in bulk, so you can see I've got a lot. The scales just come up when you need the scales. So it's very easy to use. Don't need to use measure cups in your Thermomix. Sorry, I just want to change this view. That's a bit better. So I put in apple cider vinegar. This is a quick pickle, so it's not using a salted brine that takes 2 weeks or more to pickle. This is just a quick one. The salt and the vinegar is going to help it happen. So I mean the sugar. Did I say sugar? The sugar and the vinegar. So pouring that in. Again, the scales just came up when I needed it to. I'll just move that closer in case any of you are new to Thermomix. So you can see there on the screen when it's time to add an ingredient, just the scales are there. Pour that in. And then up the top it says press next. So it's always telling you what to do in the recipe. So now it's telling me to put my lid on and my simmer basket up top. Just like that. Press next. And now this time it's set a time for me, a temperature and a speed. So I'm just going to turn that on to speed 2. Oh, and something else. If you want to look ahead, you can press preview so you know what your next steps are so that you can get organized. Or if you want to see a full recipe, you can press these 3 little dots up here and go into the recipe detail to see, like, maybe there's other ingredients you need to add, or maybe you want to read through the nutrition guide or the tips or the method or anything like that. So yeah, so this pickle recipe is basically like put it on burgers with meat, side of a roast, in salad sandwiches, anything like that. But yeah, it's just cool to have in the fridge ready to add on as a side for any of your recipes. But yeah, as I said, you can imagine using that cutter, how easy it would be to grate for coleslaw, or if you're wanting to grate cheese, or grating. I actually wanted to show you. I did a search because they're always adding new recipes to Cookie Do, like every month. I hadn't seen some of these recipes before, so I typed in the word cutter into the search bar so I could see what recipes came up. And there's this beautiful Buddha bowl, there's different salads, there's ratatouille galette, vegetable bake. I'm actually going to show you a veggie bake soon as well. You know, you can cut your strawberries with it. Yeah, there's lots of cool things you can do using the cutter to make things really easy. Potato bake, really easy. Spring rolls, yeah. So having the cutter is just like having, it just, I feel like it perfects the Thermomix. It just gives it a whole new level of cooking. And there's a question in chat maybe. Oh, Hitesh is saying the video screen is freezing. Is that freezing for anyone else? It's fine on my end. Sorry about that, Hitesh. If it's not working well, I am also recording this and I'll send out the recording for you tomorrow as well, but hopefully you're able to catch it. Okay.
Thanks, Laura. Thank you.
Sorry. It is normally okay. And then so I was also just going to show you this vacuum seal wand. This is not to do with the cutter, but I'm using it tonight for this recipe. It comes with these really great containers. You can take out the air out of your foods to make them last longer. So I've been putting veggies, and it comes in different sizes. There's small and bigger, and there's going to be a larger one soon. But it's basically to just preserve your foods to make them last longer, like berries. I've done avocado, bean sprouts, things like that, just to make them last longer. So, and the other thing is you can marinate in it to make your marinades go faster. So you don't need to leave things overnight. You can just, if you take the air out of it, it just makes the enzymes work faster. So I'm hoping that that's what's going to work with this pickle. The recipe says to leave it for up to 2 days, but if we're taking out the air in it, I've overfilled this, it will actually work faster. So I'm just going to, I should have got the bigger one, but it's actually in my fridge with other things in it at the moment. So that's it for this recipe. We just pour the ingredients, pour the pickling liquid over the top of our veggies. And that's it. There's something different to show you tonight. Don't want to overfill it. Yeah, that looks good. and I will just push it down in it. And then I'll show you how this vac seal works. So this is available from the Mix Shop website. And if you want more information about it, you can also ask your consultant because they all know about it as well. But basically, we've got the lid on, and then you use this wand to take out that air. There's a little nozzle on it that goes concave. Yeah, it's already just happened. See, it only takes a few seconds to get all the air out. And that little nozzle there goes concave. It pops in when it's ready. So that's ready. I'll set that aside. And that's the quick pickle that I wanted to show you. So that's with using the cutter on grate mode. And now I want to show you how to use the cutter on slice mode. But the recipe I wanted to do has a few steps and takes a bit of time. So I did here's one I prepared earlier so that you can see it a bit quicker, and I'll explain everything in the video as well. But if you have questions, please feel free to put them in the chat. And also at the end, I will stay on for anyone who wants to come off and have talks with me and ask me other questions about the Thermomix or the cutter. And here it is. Sorry, I need to make that ready. So I wanted to show you how to make this beautiful vegetable bake using the Thermomix cutter. The cutter works with the TM5 or the TM6, but today I'm doing it with the TM6. I'll just press start. I've already preheated my oven, and I want to show you how to assemble the cutter. Sorry, the first few steps of this recipe is weighing out your vegetables to make sure you have it ready before you assemble the cutter, but I am already organized. So to arrange this, you put the driving shaft over the blades, and there's only really one way to do it, so you will know for sure. And then we put our bowl in, and so it looks like that. And then it's a choice of whether you want to grate or slice, and today we are slicing, so I'm putting the slice side up top. It's written on there, there's a picture, oh maybe you can see it there, to show, so it's really obvious once you've got it in person. Some people also remember it that grey is to grate and slate is to slice. So see the two different colors. But it is, there's a diagram and everything. I think it's pretty easy to figure out. So I am putting that on slice. And so we are going to do the potatoes. So then you need your lid, which just sits, there's a rod here that sits in the middle of there, which is all, there's only one way to do it, so it's pretty easy. And have your pusher ready, because this is going to guide our vegetables through. I'm just going to turn this, I've got it on thick slice, so I'm just going to turn that on, and we're going to do our potato. It does a lot, very fast. So on thick slice, it's 4 millimeter slices, and on thin slice, it's 1 millimeter slices. So I'll stop that. So that was about 600 grams of potatoes that I hadn't peeled them. I'm not really a peeler when I'm in a hurry. So I had just left that unpeeled. So you can see now we've got 4 millimeter slices of potato. I'm happy to have the peel on. And I'm going to set that aside just in a big bowl and put it back on to do our next veggies. So yeah, making a nice veggie bake here. So I'll press next, and the recipe was set for a minute, but I did it faster. So this time we're doing the carrots. I'll put this back on. And the other thing to know about the cutter is I probably stopped it before I had a chance to get this out. So do check, because it is definitely possible that something can get stuck in there before you want to do your next veggies, and that's okay. So I'm putting it back on slice. We're just slicing in this bake. Okay, so now we're doing carrots. So there's only 2 carrots, so it'll be really easy. So that was only 10 seconds to do the 2 carrots. And I will show you what they look like. So we've got our carrot rounds, 4 millimeters again. I'll add with the potato. And now I'm doing zucchini. So with this vegetable bake, you could do any veggies. It's not really a problem to have that there. There's just a tiny little piece there. This is potato, carrot, and zucchini. You could do other veggies, like sweet potato would be good. I think beetroot would also be really nice. So just you choose whatever veggies you want to do. And now I'll do the zucchini. Oh, my lid wasn't on properly. Yep. And that's another thing I like about the Thermomix. If something's not right, it tells you, and you can fix it. Safety messages. How's that? That was only 7 seconds to do the zucchini. And there's nothing I haven't stuck in at that time. And there's our zucchini rounds. So I will add that in. Ordinarily with this veggie bake, I'll show you how you're meant to arrange it, and I'm going to cheat and do it a much easier way. So I just have to go get my onion. So now I'm slicing an onion on thin. So yeah, get pusher ready and be ready to put that in. Okay. So I had cut the onion in half just so it could fit through the feeder. And you'll see here that's very thinly sliced now. So on thin slice, it's 1 millimeter. And because the onion's in layers, it's more like shreds. So I'm going to put that at the bottom of my tray that I'm going to, I need a spatula. I'm going to bake this bacon. So onion goes in. And then it's a matter of arranging the veggies however you want them arranged on top. So in the picture on the recipe and in the instructions, it tells you to do them nicely layered with carrot, zucchini, potato, so it looks really pretty with the different colors layered. And I have done that before, and I found that that's really great if you're wanting to make it look presentable for whatever reason. But if it's just for the family, I'm happy just to toss it all in and have it all go around together. So I'm not really going to bother doing that. I was planning on dumping it all in. So one thing you could do if you still wanted it to mix around so it was very multi-colored, like, is just mix the veggies all around in your bowl so that it's not all clumped together. But honestly, even clumped together, like this is just delicious, and I feel like it doesn't matter what it looks like, but the slices are pretty either way. And I'll show you the picture of when I bothered versus you'll see the results of this one where I haven't bothered. But yes, the other thing we are going to do is grate our Parmesan cheese because we want that mixed in as well. So here we go. And I'm just doing that on thin, which is 1 millimeter again, so it's taking a little bit longer than the vegetables. And I'm not pushing too hard on the guide, I'm just gently guiding it down. Okay, so yeah, when you're on thick, because it goes so much faster, you're doing 4 times less the amount. So yeah, there is our Parmesan cheese, grated, shredded or sliced, I should say, sliced very nicely in beautiful slices. So yeah, always remember to take out your cutter shaft as well, because you don't want that in there when you go to do your next part of your recipe, which is using the actual Thermomix. So I am just going to tip half of these in, and then we'll add our cheese. So yeah, so if you wanted to, again, you would just get your 3 different types and layer it around. I'm just going to cheat and not worry about what I'm putting down, because honestly, my family won't appreciate that. And it's not like it takes too long. It would probably be an extra 10 minutes. But yeah. I'm trying to show you guys how to make fast, yummy, healthy meals, so we don't need to worry about making it look pretty. Okay, so now I'll put in half the cheese and try and make it evenly around, because that's going to melt in with the veggies. Okay, and then the rest of the veggies on top. And I'm just laying them flat. So in the picture of the recipe, which I'll show you as well, they've done it winding around very nicely, which is what I attempted to do in this other time I told you when I did actually bother. See, sometimes I bother and sometimes I don't. Okay, so now I'll probably pause the video. I'll just finish doing this because I need to get out the ingredients for my sauce. And we're going to pour a sauce over all of this before we bake it. And it's cream and stock and those types of things. But yeah. So even though I haven't bothered making it the perfectly 3 different colors all together, hopefully you'll be able to see that it still looks pretty with all the different colors around. Okay, one thing I forgot to do was sprinkle salt and pepper over, so I just will do that now. You could just put it in the sauce as well, so whatever. And obviously people can put it on at the table so that it's to taste. But let's just follow the recipe for now. So we are doing the sauce now. So 1 teaspoon of our vegetable stock paste, which I keep in the freezer, and you can see because of all the salt in it, it scoops. It's very scoopable, softer than ice cream. It's good. This just not very good looking, is it? But this is amazing to have in your freezer. The recipes are in your basic cookbook, and on Cookie-Doo and everywhere else you can find this recipe. But it just means the whole meal is homemade by you, no additives. Now I'm adding water, and you can see the scales have come up to add the water in, and I will add the cream. 180 grams of cream. I know some people like to use sour cream as well. You choose. And salt. There you go, more salt going in. And probably pepper too. Yeah. Good flavor. And that is it. We're going to mix that all together. Measure cup. Just for 30 seconds. Okay, so that's all been mixed, and we're just going to pour it over our veggie bake. Going to be delicious. Scrape out the rest because I don't want to waste any. Okay, now we are going to just add the rest of that Parmesan cheese that we shredded earlier, or sliced, I should say, just over the top of the bake, wherever. That will brown up in the oven and add a really yummy flavor. Keep putting that in the way of the camera. Already smells really good. The fresh Parmesan, instead of buying it pre-grated, aside from being cheaper and no additives, it just tastes and smells so much better. So I definitely recommend processing your own cheeses when you've got a Thermomix. It's so easy to do. Okay, so we are going to cover this and bake for half an hour. So this Fira cast iron pot has a perfect lid, but if your pot doesn't have a lid, use some foil. So cover it half an hour, and then we're going to take the lid off for the next 15 minutes, then pull it out of the oven, let it sit for 5 to 10 minutes before serving, and I'll show you what it looks like at the end. Here is the baked veggie bake as I've just made, and here's what it's supposed to look like if you layer it properly. But beautiful either way, and yeah, definitely recommend giving this one a go, especially if you have the Thermomix cutter. Okay, so that's basically what I wanted to show you tonight. I wanted to show you how the cutter is a really good attachment to have with the Thermomix for its slicing and grating abilities.